been sneaking in? Who's been creeping in? Who's been eating our porridge? Who's in our house? You know you're not a mouse, sleeping in our beds. What made you think that you could come, invade our privacy? You've upset Mom and baby, and you really upset me. Grrr. Well, first we saw our porridge all dipped in two. Then we saw our chairs just rocking in the blue. Look at you all tucked, snuck in our bed. Now I'm getting angry, I'm really seeing red. Brr. Oh, who's been sneaking in? Who's been creeping in? Who's been eating our porridge? Who's in our house? You know you're not a mouse, sleeping in our beds. What made you think you could come, invade our privacy? You've upset Mom and baby, and you really upset me. Grrr. Get out of that bed, little girl, right now. Grrr.
Hi, I'm Grandma Fudu, and I'm here to tell you a special story today. Now, a long time ago, it was called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. But when I was a little girl, my hair was not yellow or golden colored, it was black. So I changed the story just a little bit. Today, you're going to hear the story of Bernadette, the brunette, and the three bears. Once upon a time, long, long ago, there lived a bear family in a house, a beautiful house in the woods. There was a great big papa bear. And the Japanese word for big is oki. And there was a medium-sized mama bear. And the Japanese word for medium is mannaka. And there was a wee little baby bear. And the Japanese word for little is chisai. The three bears sat down one morning for their breakfast of porridge. Porridge is like oatmeal. And they all took a taste of their oatmeal, but it was too hot. So the papa bear said, "Let's go for a walk in the woods while the oatmeal is cooling off." And the baby bear said, "A walk in the woods, a walk in the woods, yay!" And they went out of the house for a walk in the woods. A little later, there was a little girl skipping along. La 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 la, la 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 la. Bernadette stopped right in front of the house and said, "What a darling house! So precious!" It had pink and yellow flowers in the front, and she also was remembering her mother and what her mother said to her before she left the house. "Now, Bernadette, do not talk to strangers." And Bernadette thought, this is a house. It's not a stranger, and there's no one around. Just then she looked and she saw the front door was half open. Bernadette went in. She walked in and she saw that it was just as darling inside as it was outside. And in the living room she saw 3 chairs. And she was a little tired, so she sat down in the great big oki chair and said, This chair is hard." She jumped down and went into the middle-sized mama bear's chair, Mannaka, and said, "This chair is too soft." So she hopped off of that chair and went into the wee little cheese-eye baby bear's chair and said, "Oh, this is just right." But after a few seconds, boing, the chair collapsed, and Bernadette was sitting on the floor. "Oh, my," she said. She was very upset. But when she heard her stomach growling, she thought about food and how hungry she was. She stood up and went over to the dining room table, 'cause she saw 3 bowls there, and she sat with the great big old-key bowl and had a taste. "This oatmeal is too hot," she said. So she got down and went to the next medium-sized manaka bowl and tasted that oatmeal. "This oatmeal is too cold," she said. She went over to the wee little baby bear's cheese-eye bowl of oatmeal and tasted that. "This is just right," she said, and she ate it all up. After she was finished with the oatmeal, she was feeling a little tired, so she decided to go up the stairs to see if she could lay down. She saw 3 beds, a great big old-key bed, and she lay down in it and said, "This bed is too hard." She hopped off of that bed and went to the medium-sized manaka bed and said, "This bed is too soft." She hopped off and went to the wee little cheese-eye baby bear's bed, where she fit just right head to toe, and she fell fast asleep. After a while, the 3 bears were coming home from their walk. "Valderee, Valdera, Valdera." They were singing too. And they came up to the front of their house and saw the door open and were very concerned. They walked into the house, and the Papa Bear sat down in his great big old-key chair and said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair." And the Mama Bear sat down in her medium-sized manaka chair and said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair." And the wee little baby bear went to his wee little cheese-eye chair and said, "Someone's been sitting in my chair, and they broke it all up." And the Mama Bear and the Papa Bear went over to comfort the wee little baby bear, and the Mama Bear said, There, baby bear. Papa Bear will make you another chair. Let's go have a little bite to eat now." So the 3 bears went to the dining room, sat in their chairs to eat their oatmeal. And the great big Papa Bear ate some oatmeal out of his great big old-key bowl and said, "Someone's been tasting my oatmeal." And the Mama Bear took some oatmeal out of her medium-sized manaka bowl of oatmeal. And she said, "Someone's been eating my oatmeal too." And the wee little baby bear went over to eat some of his wee little oatmeal and said, "Someone's been tasting my oatmeal and ate it all up." And Mama Bear and Papa Bear went to comfort Baby Bear. And Papa Bear said, "There, there, Baby Bear. Mama Bear will make you some new oatmeal. But for now, let us go rest in our beds." So the 3 bears went upstairs to their beds. And the great big Papa Bear lay down in his great big oaky bed and said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed." And Mama Bear went and lay down in her medium-sized manaka bed and said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed." And the wee little Baby Bear went to his wee little chi-sai bed and said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still sleeping in my bed." With the noise of the baby bears crying, Bernadette woke up, and she wiped her eyes, and she said in a wee little chi-sai voice, and then in a medium-sized manaka voice, and then in a great big oki voice, "Bears! Bears! Bears!" And she jumped out of the bed, ran down the stairs, out of the house, and she ran all the way home to her mother. And Bernadette the brunette never spoke to strangers, never went into strange cars or into strange houses ever, ever again.
Who's been sneaking in? Who's been creeping in? Who's been eating our porridge? Who's in our house? You know you're not a mouse, sleeping in our beds. What made you think that you could come, invade our privacy? You've upset Mom and Baby, and you really upset me. Grr. Well, first we saw our porridge all dipped in two. Then we saw our chairs just rocking in the blue. Look at you all tucked, snuck in our bed. Now I'm getting angry, I'm really seeing red. Brr. Oh, who's been sneaking in? Who's been creeping in? Who's been eating our porridge? Who's in our house? You know you're not a mouse, sleeping in our beds. What made you think you could come, invade our privacy? You've upset Mom and Baby, and you really upset me. Grr. Get out of that bed, little girl, right now. Grr.